to read. I keep leaving it too late. So if I read about 6, 7, 8 of them, it makes me feel better. Just makes me feel better. Thank you. Chapter 32, 32, 33. Oh no, it's happening. Chapter 32, Bob's Return. Charlie was surprised and shocked, and he didn't know how to react. He didn't like Bob, but the youth was worse, he reasoned. Bob allowed the youth to struggle a little more before he let him go, and then the frightened youth fled hastily, leaving a lonely sneaker on the ground. Bob had an uncharacteristic grin on his face, as if he'd just won a prize. Thanks, said Tinker, and he brushed himself down. No problem, he said, and he watched as his hand disappeared into Bob's gigantic paw. He was glad to get his hand back unscathed. Although Charlie was glad of Bob's help, he didn't want to be in his company for long. Bob tried to make small talk, but Charlie was insistent. Bye, said Charlie politely, as it wasn't in his nature to be rude. Bob gave him a serious nod, and he watched as Charlie disappeared down the warren of streets like hundreds of boys before him. Bob was pleased, as he knew that he had made inroads, and he felt the binoculars hidden in the folds of his heavy coat, and he knew that they would come in handy. Charlie didn't know what to do with himself, so he decided to keep walking. He had so many thoughts whizzing around his head about Tinker, Bob, and his mum that it was hard for him to concentrate on where he was going, and he was beginning to get a headache. The alleyways seemed to go on forever, but gradually Charlie could see a light in the distance, and the once grey sky was now turning blue. His spirits lifted a little as he stepped out of the dingy alley and over a pedestrian crossing, and he could see endless green fields in the distance. He decided to head there to see what he could discover. Bloody hell, I messed up there.